Hi, this is Julian, and thanks for checking in with this video. So this video, this is a short intro about teaching in Japan and teaching English and whether it is something for you. And I actually made a video a while ago with two friends of mine who are also English teachers. We will talk about the pros and cons about teaching English in Japan and whether it is actually something that you might want to do or whether it is something that's actually not for you at all. And if you have any questions, then please post them below in the comment section. And yeah, so if you have any questions or anything else to say, then please post it below in the comment section. And please support me and my channel and subscribe. And I will be posting more videos about teaching English in Japan. For now, I hope you will enjoy this video and have a very good day. Goodbye. See you. Okay, so hello people. So we will talk about, well, teaching in Japan, teaching English in Japan. So right now in Japan, it's not really called English teacher anymore. It's called ALT, which is short for Assistant Language Teacher. Yeah. I don't remember since when is it like ALT?
Maybe
just a few years ago,
yeah,
right?
4 years maybe.
4 years? Seriously, 4 years?
Could be.
Okay, so okay, so what is actually the? So wait, before it was ALT. Okay, wait, with ALT, yeah. The English teacher, the ALT is just the T2, right? So
yeah.
second teacher and the Japanese teacher. JTE is like the main teacher, right?
Yeah.
So, and before that it was just like equal?
As far as I know, just because, I mean, I wasn't there during that time, but I think that basically what happened was that JTE was just there to kind of supervise you in front of the children and basically lesson plans and things like that.
Okay, so actually the English teacher was the T1.
Yeah, I think so, but don't quote me on this.
Okay, no, that's okay. So it was never really like side by side?
I don't know. Maybe, but not to my...
No, I don't know much about the past.
Only a future, man. That's all.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Right. Okay, we need to introduce ourselves. No? Okay, so yeah, my name is Julian Anthony.
Okay, so I'm Derryn and
And I'm Paul Murray.
Right, so right now I teach junior high school here in Japan. It's a public junior high school, and this is my second year in Tochigi, and I used to teach 2 years elementary school in Kanagawa, and before that I used to teach senior high school 3 years in Kanagawa, in the Kanagawa area.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, kind of like...
Yeah, that's a huge variance of experiences there, so that's great.
I mean, it's funny actually though, I mean, I did want to experience like the entirety of the education in Japan, but it was actually not really conscious. So for example, when I was teaching senior high school in Kanagawa area, what the heck was that? Okay.
Explosive can.
Yeah.
So
it's dangerous here in Japan.
Yeah, I guess it's frozen? No, it's not really frozen. What the hell? Okay. So okay, lost my train of thought. Okay, now, so the thing is like, I had no confidence that I would be able to teach elementary school, right? So Interact actually asked me to go to Ibaraki and asked me to teach elementary school, right? Interact is like this company, right? So, right, I forgot, like, so ALT in Japan, the position is not, you're usually not directly hired by the schools, right? The Board of Education, the BOE, they sometimes hire English teachers directly, but it's not really encouraged. So they usually go by those, they go through dispatch companies, and Interact is like
one of the bigger ones.
Yeah, it's also the biggest one in Japan. And so this year, at least, we are right now with Borderlink. Are we allowed to mention that? I don't. Okay, it's okay.
Just don't say anything about Borderlink.
Don't say anything bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. No, so yeah, so that's like teaching in how you can get into Japan as well, right? So if you're looking to get a visa or just work to start, I mean the pay is not great.
It's not exemplary. But what we could do is we could start off with a few cons of being an LT in Japan, and one of them would be the salary. So, I mean, the salary, it's okay. I think that if you're one guy or one girl living by yourself, no real responsibilities back home, then sure, it's perfectly livable and you can enjoy yourself, especially in that first year, when your taxes are still low, your insurance not so high, pension hasn't come up yet, you can really enjoy yourself. But as soon as that second year comes in, then we're basically sitting at trying to live like a monk. you basically don't have any excitement in your life after that.
That's true. How is it for you? I mean, it's just great because like Derryn, you're leaving Japan, right?
Yeah.
Because you're getting married, which is a great thing, right?
Thank you.
I've already been in Japan. This is like my 7th year, and this is Paul. You just came to Japan, right? So how was it for you?
Well, so far so good. I've only had one full payment yet, but I've enjoyed myself on that paycheck first year.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm not looking forward to year 2 though, with the amount that health insurance and then you've got your pension comes in.
Yeah. Gets a bit rough, but I
can see it being tight every month.
You're gonna have to get some experience budgeting, but it's fun regardless, especially if you're that way inclined. So, as someone that's been here for 7 years, what's some tips to kind of get that money to stretch out a little bit more?
Don't pay pension.
You pay your pension, don't worry. We know you pay your pension.
Okay, no. The thing is like, where do your priorities lie, right? So, for example, honestly, I have been living pretty selflessly. Selflessly is maybe also a weird way to say it because my priorities lie with my students, and I know a lot of ALTs who do like other part-time jobs or side jobs, especially like in Tokyo. It's great if you get a language partner and you teach like tandem. Wait, tandem is like not really inverse, just one-on-one English lessons, right? And you meet up in cafes and you get like, it used to be like around 3,000 for an hour, but now it's like almost down to 2,000, I think. Because there's just so many foreigners. So much
competition.
So much competition. I think the biggest competition actually came from like the Eikaiwa, so English conversation schools, who are like, they're cheap.
Yeah, of course.
So I think that actually kind of
ruined that whole option. I mean, for me, I've ended up doing programming, and basically my whole day consisted of getting up, going to school, coming back home, and working a second job. And as much as that sucks, it definitely makes Japan more accessible, makes traveling a lot easier. If you've got a little bit of extra cash to spend, it's always good. So I think that's a good idea if you want to kind of make the most of your time in Japan, is don't be afraid to look for other work other than an LT, because you've got the time. I mean, genuinely, you finish before 5 most days.
Yeah, right? That's true.
So
and you can't look at the camera.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I didn't know if you wanted to more. But yeah, so basically, I think the best piece of advice to get more money is to make more money, and that's the best way that you're going to get everything to stretch out a little bit more. Yeah. But other than that, I think another good one is to know where to shop. So, do you want to talk a little bit about basically, discount stores, whole like?
I mean, you got it. I mean, why not? You can start off.
Okay, so whenever you come to Japan and you're looking to basically kit out your apartment, go to what are they called? They
100 yen shops.
Well, 100 yen shops, and there's another thing like Super Viva Home and things like that. I can't remember what they're called. Damn. But basically, it's where you can buy cheap appliances, and this makes getting everything for your apartment a lot simpler. I mean, if you try and buy everything from department stores or from online, it can maybe add up. Another thing is, be careful when you're ordering online. I think there's plenty items that are advertised and they look really good, but then when you get them, the quality is questionable. So first-hand experience is always good. So go and check that mattress out or that futon out before you just click buy.
Yeah. I bought a completely useless mattress from Amazon because it was cheap. It might have been cheap, but it's useless.
Yeah.
So I had to buy another mattress when I got more money next month.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it depends also like on the season. So for example, when I bought my mattress, it was actually it wasn't so too expensive. So I got one for 3,000 yen, which would be around like 30 US dollars.
Yeah.
And I got it from Eon. And it's foldable, and it was actually quite nice. And I was actually surprised, but later on, when I was like looking to get another one, it kind of like vanished. And when I was looking online, I saw like foldable futons, that's what they're called in Japan. And so I was trying to get one of those foldable futons or mattresses as well, and it was almost the same pricing, but when I got it, it was actually really a thin futon and not really a mattress, right? So yeah, that was a little bit disappointing. But right now here in Mibu, in the city of Mibu where we are, there's no Eon, right?
No.
Yeah. But if we're talking about like making the most of your money, so don't underestimate like those 100 yen shops. I mean, there are a few chains with different names like Daiso's,
Syria,
and don't underestimate them, because some of them, especially, they have some bigger and smaller stores, but they have really a lot of good stuff.
And a great selection and wide variety.
I mean, if it's about depending on where you don't want to cheap out, but for example, just plates, getting plates and cutlery,
kitchen and bathroom stuff.
Exactly.
100 yen per item.
It's actually very good. And the one thing you have to remember in Japan, it's like tax is usually not included. So even if they say
108
you will. The first time I came to Japan, I really felt conned like every single time.
Because you don't know exactly what you're paying until you get to the register.
Exactly.
I thought that was only an American thing, so I bought something at a shop. That's when I was in Akiba. It was like 700 yen, and they said like, well, it's 780, and I'm like, I asked him, it's like, it says 700 yen on there, and like, tax.
No, exactly. I understand. I at least came a little more wise to the situation because of going to America before and having that shocking experience of going to the counter and not having enough money for all of the items that I picked up, and then the embarrassing moments of being like, no, this can stay. So be aware of the tax. Also, as someone that's leaving Japan, something that you might want to do is check on Facebook and things like that. They have sayonara sales, so they'll have groups where people that are leaving Japan are selling items that they don't want anymore. And I mean, there's plenty of people that have maybe stayed in Japan for like a couple months, so you're getting basically brand new stuff for really cheap because they're just trying to get rid of everything. Because
it's expensive to get rid of stuff unless you give them away or sell them to people.
It's true. In Japan, you have to pay to dispose of bigger stuff. For example, if you want to dispose of a mattress, you actually have to. I think you have to apply for it at the city. So they'll have someone to pick it up, and then you will have to pay for them to actually pick up the mattress, right?
Or if it's like foam, cut a bit off each week. Normal rubbish.
But I mean, if you're leaving Japan, that's something you don't really have the option
in advance.
Of doing that, right?
Keep shredding that foam up.
You eventually get to a shape that's just only your body. It's like lying there. Exactly.
Okay, or you can use that phone to make like stuffed animals.
Yeah, that's a good side business. Stuffed animals, you know. New business
it's true.
of Japan.
It's true.
No. So,
it's stuffed animals and cute characters. I mean, that's Japan.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
Lots of competition. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
But I mean, you know, with that whole bathwater scenario that was out there, that one Twitch streamer that basically sold her bathwater, you can sell used mattress foam. There you go. Paul's used mattress foam.
I think that usually only works. I mean, if you're a woman, right? I mean, I don't want to be sexist, but you have like a lot of perverts. Can I say that? There are perverts here in Japan, like hentai, right?
Yeah.
Her hentai is like pervert, right? And I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's been so famous. I mean, when I was in senior high school and I read about Japan, I mean, there was already talk about, you know, Japanese schoolgirls selling underwear, used underwear in sex shops, and it's the stunning thing is authentic. And the girls, they get some secret money and they don't have to tell anybody where they got it. And there's actually, you know, like old dudes, middle-aged dudes in their 30s, 40s, not us, and maybe even married with children, and they will buy that stuff.
Nah. Like for me, that's just that's not exactly a kosher situation. I mean, honestly, I can't imagine going through, you know, like, it's Saturday evening, what am I gonna do? Gonna buy myself some schoolgirl panties here, you know? I mean, come on.
Well, when you've lost a lot of money at Pachinko, you need something to just lighten the
spirits.
Yeah. But another thing about like saving money in Japan, a big thing is, for example, I mean, there are convenience stores in Japan, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them, and they're really, really convenient. So these konbinis, as they're called, you have 7-Eleven, Family Mart, Mini Stop, and a few others, depending on where you are. The thing is, like, they're actually not that cheap.
Yeah.
So if you really want to be thrifty, you should go to the supermarket, or even if there's like a grocers, or like greengrocers. They're usually even cheaper. Yeah. Farmers market, depending on where you are, you might have to research where there are, but they're cheaper. But if you really just want to stick with the supermarket, there's usually a time in the evening when they will start discounting them, and the best thing that you can get is like half price.
Yeah, definitely. If you go half an hour before it closes.
Right. So the one thing that you might want
on a 10 p.m. closing, sometimes best, because if you go at 9 p.m. nearly everything's already gone.
Yeah, it's usually it starts 1 hour before it closes. But you have to be careful because some supermarkets close at 10, some at 9, some at 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty different, right?
Yeah.
Also, the time when they start the discounting is also a little bit different.
Yeah.
Sometimes some supermarkets actually start earlier than 1 hour before. And also, you just have to look at what weekday you go, because of course everybody in the area they know about that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course.
And also depending on what you want to get, right? So if you want to get sushi, fresh sushi, okay, it's not super fresh anymore, but trust me, sushi, even the fresh fish, it's still good enough, and it's great, right? And I mean, this is Japan; they don't sell you rotten stuff.
Yeah.
Right? They don't do that nowhere, right? So the thing is like, so sushi will go away really quickly usually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and if you're looking out in the supermarket and you want to know which items are discounted, there will be a little sticker on there, and it will be like 1, 2, or 3 to say how much it's being discounted, what type of percentage it's being discounted.
It's usually 10%, 20%, 30%, and then some kanji for half off.
Yeah. No, but actually you have to be careful because there's like 2 different kinds of discount stickers that depends on the supermarket.
Yeah.
So the easier ones to understand is if you use percentage, right? So it's 10%, 20%, 40% off. Half percent, they never write 50% off. They just write the kanji for hangaku, so you should probably look that up. But there are also some supermarkets who actually don't write the percentage, but they will write like ichiwari, niwari, which means like 10%. But you will have to look up the kanji for wari, and it's just 1 wari or 2 wari. And also, you might just want to look. Sometimes you can get tricked because it's not really the a percentage discount, but just the yen discount.
Yeah. I made that mistake in Lawson. Yeah. So in Lawson there was 50 something, couldn't read it, so I'm like, 50% off. It was only 50 yen off.
Yeah, definitely. Just be aware of that.
So convenience stores have started doing discounting since last year, and I think also it's also more, it's just gonna be more this year, starting this year, because there have been complaints about like convenience stores producing a lot of garbage, fresh food, throwing away a lot of actually stuff that is actually still good, right? And the thing is that they just didn't want to give like people discounts, and even now you will never see like 30%, 40% off in a convenience store.
I've never seen it in 7-Eleven.
Yeah, they don't do it. No. They don't do it.
Lawson, they have it. 7-Eleven, I haven't seen it either.
Lawson do it a bit, but it's not as good as a supermarket. It's 50 yen off, 100 yen off if it's like 500 yen.
Yeah. The convenience store is for convenience. For everything else, there's supermarket.
That's true.
Not MasterCard.
Not MasterCard. When I was saying it, I was like, MasterCard. But yeah.
It's true. But actually, if you start as an ALT, your monthly income should be around 22 man, which is like 220,000 yen a month. And your rent, depending on your area, I think Tokyo, you will easily go to 80,000, 90,000.
Easily.
If you want to live more comfortably, it's like 110,000. And including water and electricity, that may add another 10,000. Another 10,000 a month.
My electric's 5,000, but I do have laptop and stuff on quite a lot.
So I mean, from my experience in this area, like if you move more to the countryside, your rent is going to be cheaper. And I mean, for this apartment that we're in here, it's 38,000, and that includes internet. And I mean, water, electricity, gas, all of that amounts to 11,000 for myself. And I mean, you know, I shower every day. I do washing once or twice a week. So if that's any help, you know, to kind of get an idea of what type of budget you'll have to
Okay, I'm a little around here. I have a little bigger apartment, so this is around like, this is like 22 square meters?
Yeah, 22 square
meters.
Right,
so I have like around 50 because when it wasn't really intentional.
Yeah, exactly.
But when I moved here, it was a little bit in a cinch. So actually I didn't, I was looking for work with Borderlink in this area, and I didn't really have a big choice of apartments where to live. So there was actually just this 52 something square meters apartment available, but it cost me around 55,000 yen a month.
That's still very good.
I still think it's very good, and compared to when I was living in Tokyo for a while, it was like it was a shared apartment with like 10 people, shared kitchen, shared bathroom. And it's not really even a bathroom, it's actually just a toilet and a shower. And it cost me like 85,000 a month, and my room was like 20 square meters.
No, exactly.
And it's
if you want to live in Tokyo, you're going to get that full-on Tokyo experience with a tiny apartment, or else you're going to be broke. So that's kind of your choices.
Yeah, I mean, like anything that I've seen that's comfortable actually is 100,000 or 110,000, and but if you go to shared dormitories, I mean, they can be cheaper. You actually will have company, right? So if you don't, actually I would even recommend doing that if you come to Japan first, because you will have probably no idea what's happening, and probably you will have maybe no friends or just people you know. I don't know, whatever the circumstances you are in when you come to Japan. So when you go to Japan, share dormitory, ALT work, I think that's great. And also the good thing about ALT teaching is like, as Derryn said, like your responsibilities are not that huge. You're just a T2, right? So you don't really decide. You don't really make the curriculum, right? So you just go along with whatever the school and whatever the Japanese teacher is doing, and he will usually tell you what you can help with. So that makes it a lot easier. And even if you're like not confident about teaching, it's a great experience to see whether you will actually enjoy teaching.
Yeah, so I mean, we can talk from different experiences here because you're currently doing junior high school.
Yeah.
I was doing elementary school. So with regards to elementary school, you're going to be, it's going to be a little more, I don't know, you're going to have a bit more control over your lessons. So you can create lesson plans and things like that. So you can set the pace for some teachers. And I think that if you don't have any experience teaching English in Japan, I think a junior high school position is a little bit easier to wet your feet in. But I think, I still think elementary school is more fun than the junior high schools.
Okay, well that would be a different topic, but okay, well why not? I mean, we can go in. So I think we already gave all the tips about saving money or, you know, just surviving physically. Physically in Japan. Yeah. So, but so the thing is like, well, it's a big discussion, right? So as you're teaching senior high school, junior high school, elementary school. Yeah. So elementary school, right? So your complete take.
Okay.
So what makes elementary school great?
Okay. So the thing that makes elementary school great are the kids. Genuinely, it's the most rewarding experience I've ever had. It's incredibly enjoyable just to be with the children, to have that energy with them is something that's, I think, it's kind of priceless. I mean, you can't really explain the way that it makes you feel. It's just incredible. And also, I think to be able to have this bit of influence on these young children is actually, it's something that I've never had before, and it's something that I'm really, really, really glad that I got to experience. The next part, I would say that the teachers are also, the teachers that I had are great, right? I mean, all the teachers I got along with, we really gelled quite well. I never had any issues. But that said, I have heard stories that sometimes teachers can be a bit iffy. But in my general experience, the teachers are always willing to work with you. They're willing to try out new lesson plans if you want to try out new lesson plans. But a quick tip is just to basically make sure that you're actually putting effort in. I mean, it's very easy to just go to school, follow the set curriculum that's there, given to you by your dispatch company or whatever, not make any materials and just kind of float through. And I can imagine this is where some of the problems come in. If you go and you're actually making materials and you're making activities for the children, that's when the teachers actually start to take notice and they're like, wow, this guy's actually passionate about what he's doing. He really cares about the children. And I think that makes a big difference in their interpretation of you as a person. And they'll kind of match that. They'll start being more interactive with you, more interactive with the children. Their energy goes up, all of that type of stuff. So it's really enjoyable. And I think that it's something that has made me realize just how much I love children, just to be around them the whole time and be able to play with them at lunchtime and things like that, and have these weird mixtures of Japanese and English conversations. That's another thing. When you're at elementary school, there are going to be very few kids that are going to understand English properly. So you're going to have a good opportunity to practice your Japanese, and your Japanese is going to get real good real fast. But for elementary school, I think the most important thing, or the best thing about it, is just the children and the ability to create creative and interesting and exciting lesson plans and materials. What about junior high school, guys? What makes junior high school special?
Oh, sorry, if I may add to elementary school.
Yeah.
So a little bit about cons. So the thing is, like, I totally agree. I think elementary school is great. Honestly, Japanese kids, Japanese children, I mean, children everywhere are cute, but Japanese kids are there's just something about them. They're really just kids.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Maybe it's just like media, because like in the West, like in America or Europe, there's so much, the media is just much more violent, there's so much more sex in it, and it's just more normal for those kids. In Japan, they're really they're really just kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you may still get your arrogant and like bad mouthing and like naughty kids, right?
Yeah.
So cons, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is like it really depends on where you are in your life, right? If you just want to get to know Japan, if you just want to experience teaching, or even if you just want to get into the country with a job, I do not recommend elementary school.
Yeah.
Why? Because elementary school kids, they expect something from you. You're not a nobody when you go to school, right? And usually, even if your role is really, really small, depending on the school, but even then, the teachers, elementary school teachers, they will make a thing out of it. They will introduce you to the kids. So you're not just a nobody, right? So you don't need to be the clown. You don't need to be a super entertainer, but you should remember, right? You have a huge impact on how these kids see foreigners, but not even just that, even just because like you're representative. It's also just because you're there. Yeah, you're there right in front of them, and you're there as an adult, and they look up to you. And whatever you do, they will remember that. And so if you go there and you show like little interest in the kids, and you never play with them, and you just go home after you're done, they will remember that. Yeah. And it's not great. And of course the teachers in school, they will see that too. Which will, maybe you can just flow through an entire year like that, but usually it will negatively impact your impression with the school, which will in turn like impact your impression with your company, dispatch company. Yeah. Right?
Definitely.
So I would definitely not recommend elementary school if you don't like kids.
Yeah, definitely, because you're gonna be a big part of these kids' lives, and I mean, you're gonna make an impression on them, and it's something that is really gonna affect them. Like how you treat them. So you need to be aware that you do have influence on these kids' lives, and it's something that you have to take responsibility for. So, like you say, if you're coming here just to get into the country and then you're just going to leave the job after like a couple months, you must remember the type of impact that will have on the children. So
so the thing is like I would not the things like the kids will be in your face. So when you go there, you will eat lunch with the kids every day. Right? So it's not like, okay, you have your lunchtime in your teacher's room and you have a moment for yourself. So they will be in your face. And also when there's a recess or just a break, then you will see children running around, and if you are somewhere walking around the school, they will come up to you and you will have kids playing with you. Right? Or wanting to play with you. And you don't have to do that every time, but if you never do that, it's not great cool either. But despite all this, if you're not confident, it's okay. If you like children, that's enough. The children will feel that, right? You don't have to be like you don't have to be a born teacher. Like I said, like elementary school, the Japanese teachers, they will be there, they will watch after the kids. You're actually not even allowed, or you shouldn't discipline the kids either, of course, right?
That should never happen.
So even if you're not confident, even if you have no idea what you're gonna do, even if you're maybe like, because of like your physical condition, you're not able to play a lot or like a lot like intensive stuff with the kids, it's okay, it's totally okay, right? You just need to not hate kids.
Yeah, and you know what, as long as you interact with them and things like that, that's where the difference comes in. I mean, if you can't run around with the children and things, it's fine. I mean, some kids just sit in the library and they read. If you go there and you kind of interact with them, it makes a big difference. I mean, there were times when I had maybe a rough day or two, and then I'm like, I just can't run today, so just go and join the kids busy drawing pictures in the library and things like that. So there's other ways, just as long as you kind of realize that, just interact with the kids, have fun with them, get to know them, just be a part of their whole learning experience.